when the woman become your God. Um, so we want to welcome every brother wherever you may be. May the Most High keep you and guard you, especially those of our strongmen club, our strong brothers. You know, every time you come here, you come to get stronger. You come to get better, more efficient as a brother, as a soldier of the Most High, and as a builder of our nation. So today we have that important lesson: is when the woman become your God. Um, so as we always do, well, actually today let's read First Kings 2:2. Um, we have two main verses. First King 2:2 is one of them. Um, so brother Shokwat, I don't know if you can read for us tonight if you're available.
I'm available.
All praises.
Reading from the book of First Kings, chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Right, so the scripture say, "Be thou strong and show yourself a man." Being a man, it's all about strength and power. When you mention the word man, you see power with it. Never forget that you are a man and be proud that you're a man. And today, not so many men are proud to be men. They want to be women, but the word man is associated with power. A long time ago, when we say men, we really see power and honor and glory. But nowadays, not so much. Men are ashamed to say they are the leaders. They are ashamed to say they are the power on this earth. When men talk about women need to submit, they're kind of afraid. They're kind of, let's watch our mouth the way we say this because women are around. Those times are over, brothers. It's over that men are afraid. The word men is not associated with power no more. Those days are done. And guess what? We will take back power from the powers that be that set up the division, that set our women against us. Our women are not the enemies, right? They're not the one trying to take power from us. There are people that set them up so they could weaken our power so they can take power. It's not that they're giving our women power either. But there's people that love the division because the division is the greatest tool by the elitist to keep us down. But those days are over because now we can see, we can understand, and we'll not let them divide us. Into the word of the Most High, we will bring back structure in the house. So all praise to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Welcome to the Strongman Club. Every man, everywhere, wherever you may be, especially those of Israelite descent, feel free to share that video. Feel free to subscribe. And this message needs to go everywhere. Because nowadays, we are being ruled by women, and we will prove it in the Bible. Get me Isaiah 2:12. And this is not me saying that. It's the Bible saying that men are being ruled by women. And this is not good news for anybody, include the women herself. It's not good for our women. It's not good for our children that women are ruling over men. And it's time for men to step up.
Reading from the book of
Isaiah 3:12. 3:12. I'm sorry.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Right. So there's a guy called Machiavelli. He's a demon, a Edomite demon, and he mentioned the best way for the elite to rule over society is to keep them divided, meaning using every little differences they have between them to keep them weak. This is the only way the powerful can continue ruling. And nowadays, the only problem that's going on, those that leading us, causing us to err, they want to put the women over the men. And they want the men to become submissive. They want the men to become subservient. They want the men that's supposed to protect society, the men that's supposed to be the strong men, being under the woman. And today we got a lot of meat. We will show you where these theories come from. And we already mentioned Machiavelli. It's one of those Edomite demons that really show them how to be devils, right? And one of those tools is keep them divided. Make sure you use every little difference to keep them divided. And nowadays, women rule over the men. And that's not good news, both for the women, for the children, and for nobody in a society when the women start ruling. And we'll talk a little bit later about why. Okay? So now, the big problem is today we're facing as men. Men are afraid to speak. You can tell whenever it's time for men to speak about women issues and what's going on, the evil that's happening, how the system is using our women against us. Most men are afraid. They avoid that whole conversation. They do not want to talk about that situation because for some reason, well, it's a sign of weakness anyway. Whenever you're not allowed to criticize somebody, you know that person have power over you. Right? So we know. Give me a second, guys. Right? So when we in a society where men are afraid to speak about injustice being done to them, and you even afraid to speak about how God wants things to set up, we have a problem. Right? Many men they refuse to talk about these things. Many men won't even dare to say women must submit. Many men have to just go with the flow, 50-50, or they want to go with the flow. Hey, my wife, she's a voice. They will not say clearly that, hey, I'm the leader in the home and the woman is my helpmeet, as the Bible said it ought to be. Okay? So many men won't even talk about it. They won't even assert any sense of power these days. And this is why we see men are being put in doghouse. You see the man buy his own house, but the woman tell him, you go sleep in the couch, I take the bed. Where the woman lead him, where the woman punish him, he can't say anything. Even in joke, the woman, if you joke the wrong way, the woman can make you sleep in the doghouse. Right? Even if you look at another woman, you can get punishment. Men are terrified if they look at another woman because of what their wife's gonna think. Men are terrified to tell their wife, hey, you need to cook today. Men are terrified to tell their wives, hey, it's your responsibility to take care of the home. Nowadays, if a man say that, society look at you, oh, misogynistic. You narcissistic. They give men all kind of name into shaming them, so they can easily give up their power that King David mentioned. Show yourself a man. So men are weak in these last days. Men are severely weak in these last days. Trust me. Women can look at the men and the men start whimpering. The woman is punishing the men. Okay, the woman, there's a guy I know that the wife is cheating on him and still expect Valentine get the gift from him. If he doesn't give her a gift, all hell break loose. And the men know she's cheating. This is how low men have become in this society. So how long we gonna take power back? Not from the women, from those that give her the power. And we're not gonna attack our women because we know they're being manipulated. The beginning of the story of Earth was the serpent wanted power from Adam and go through the woman. That has always been the way we get power. We have to go through the weaker vessel. So the woman is not the enemy. She's being manipulated because the people that give her the power don't give a damn about her anyway. They want her to work for them, make them money, but you think they care about the woman? The only people that really care about our women is us, right? But the people that's using her against us don't care about her, don't care about us. So I'm not making our women the enemy. But we have to talk about how they're using her. We have to talk about how they're manipulating her to turn against us, to weaken us as men. So today, when you look at our men, you think our men are ready to go in a war? Those weak men, men that are emotional, men that are crying, men that whenever the wife speak, that whatever the wife say, that's what goes. You think those are men? Those are true men? No. And as Israelite men, we need to step up. We cannot leave the house to the wife for her to do whatever she please. Whatever she asks goes. She's like God. She asks, it happens. Make it happen. So we brothers need to stand strong. Now, let's get to it. Right? How did they plan to how did they start to weaken men? What the plan to overthrow men? How did they do it? Number one, they start with feminism. Feminism, we remember what it is. It was a slow movement. Usually, even men supported some feminism, because most men in the beginning, we thought feminism was simply allow women to, work and give them right to go to school and different things, which to most men that was harmless. Of course, our women have to elevate. We had no problem with it in the beginning, but what the plan was, it was never really to give women higher status in society. It was designed to give women domination in society, right? So that was the whole plan. From they leave feminism behind, now they go to sexual liberation. What is sexual liberation? When the woman can do whatever she want with her body, my choice. They went from that to happy wife, happy life. They come then they got the gender pay gap, where they want them to make them women the highest earner. Although the women already making much more money than the men. You can look at the stats. Women are actually in the fields that they compete with men. They're already making more money than us. So it wasn't just feminism. It was some a well planned, crafted move so the woman could leave men in the dust financially, leave men in the dust by giving her rights in the courts, child support, right? By giving her rights to your stuff, whatever you own, you marry her, she can pretty much clear you out when she divorces you, giving the woman incentives to leave her marriage. Now, right now, most marriage most houses are broken by the women. So the whole plan was never to really give women the opportunity. It was always to put the weak over the strong, because they study those things. They understand if we put the weak over the strong, we will destroy the strong. So now, the first plan was feminism, right? The second plan was putting the weak over the strong. There's a guy called a German scholar. That's called Nietzsche. It's called Nietzsche. He said he wrote a piece called Slave Morality versus Master Morality. So Nietzsche believed that elevating the weak as morally superior led to the suppression of excellence, ambition, and greatness in society. Let me read that again. Nietzsche believed that elevating the weak as morally superior led to the suppression of excellence, ambition, and greatness in society. So why would the white man want to put the woman over us? Let me read it why. Because he believed that elevating the weak as morally superior led to the suppression of excellence, ambition, and greatness in society. So if you want to suppress excellence, if you want to repress ambition, greatness in society, the only thing you do, you have to put the weak over the strong. Let me give you an example. You can also notice that in your job. Sometimes your job would put the guy that don't know a damn thing. You more capable than the guy. But the guy seems to be, for some reason, he don't know a damn thing. You've been at the job, you have the experience, but what they do, they put the guy that don't know a damn thing over you. You know why? Because they're preventing you from shining. They're preventing you from taking over. They see that guy's too smart. If we put him over, that the man he's gonna take the management position. So we have to put someone weaker and incapable over him, so he doesn't excel. So we blocking his excellence. We're blocking his greatness. You see that? So the whole point of this guy theory was always, hey, if we want to shut down the black man, we have to put the black woman over him. We have to give the woman more independence. We have to give the woman more money. We have to give the woman more power, sexual liberation. We have to make sure that she can take your money in the court. We have to make the woman a little bit richer than him, so like that he doesn't excel. That was the whole point. And the other plan they used against the black men was what we call today the gender war. Now there's a big gender war. This is called division, right? In Machiavelli, we talk about Machiavelli, one of the Edomite devil. He mentioned that the tool of the elitists are division. It says when people are fighting each other, they often ignore larger power structures. It says when people are fighting each other, they often ignore larger power structure. That's why I told you our enemy is not the woman. But what they do, because we're fighting between us, now we ignore who was oppressing us, who's oppressing us, who's killing us. We start looking at each other as the enemy, but meanwhile, they're the one actually doing the killing and murdering us and taking policies to destroy our nation. So you see that division is a tool that keep us divided so the power structure can continue to govern. That's the whole point of that. So now this is how they divide us. This is how they destroy us as black men. We render us weak is number one by, oh, there's another one. We'll talk about by feminism, by giving the woman an edge financially over the men. Number two, by putting the weak over strong, by giving, and as you can see, brothers, they're even paying women to become managers at job. Like I used to be at a job, they say we support women and children. But what about the men? You don't support no men? That's why most of your job, it's easy for the manager to become a woman. Is it by mistake or by design? How come wherever we go, if it's not a job that require men like tractor and any other job where women can thrive, the woman is the manager. Is it a mistake? I don't think so. It's them putting the weak over the strong, right? To keep the strong from excelling. We talk about that. We talk about also what we call the gender war. In the last one, we got what we call the labeling theory. Labeling theory. Okay, the labeling theory was developed by a scientist called Howard Becker in 1960s. It says labeling someone can reinforce certain behaviors and pressure them to conform. Meaning, if you start labeling somebody about something, then you can reinforce certain behavior, meaning you make them do it, or you pressure them to conform. By example, where were all these words, narcissist, misogynistic? Where are all these words come from? We never heard of them when we were being growing up. Then all of a sudden, we got so many words for men. Whenever the men start correcting the woman, he's misogynist. He's narcissist. Whenever he say anything that put the woman in check, there's a label for him. Body shaming. There's something, whenever you try to correct somebody now, there's a word that label you. You know why? Because they're trying to reinforce certain behavior on you to actually make you hate women, because that's what misogyny means, to hate women. And then, or they're trying to make you conform, meaning the minute they start saying things, labeling you like, man, I don't want to be called misogynist. I don't want to be called racist. I don't want to be called a narcissistic. So let me back down. So you see how they break down the men morally, financially, spiritually, In any way possible, they break him down. So get me the book of Matthew right quick. I think the brother dropped. Anyone can read for me. Anyone can volunteer. Matthew 12:25.
Somebody got it?
Divided within itself shall not stand. Right? So every house divided within itself shall not stand, Israel. So what is the white man do? He keeps the division strong. He keeps the war going. And in that war, what it does, it get me Matthew 12:29. In that war, what he does is to weaken the black man. The man protector is gonna be weakened in that whole thing. By using the weak woman, as the Bible says, the woman is a weaker vessel. By putting her own power, the black man is gonna be weakened and weakened every day. And this is exactly what's happening. The black man is so weak in these last days, it's not even funny how the black man is treated in his own home. How the black man is only treated for his money. He's only loved for his money. He's not treated as nothing else but some kind of ATM. Right? And the minute he doesn't have money, he's discarded like a dog. Matthew 12:29.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 29. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
So how can a man enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods? The man is well armed. You're not going to do that. The first thing you need to do, though, you need to bind him. A lot of you might think that bind mean with cords. Well, that bind mean with spiritual cord as well. We need to find a way to bind him up so he can't move. So he's powerless. We need to make him powerless so we can spoil his house. So this is why David said to Solomon, I go in all the way of the earth. Show yourself men, brother. Be a man. Be powerful. Right? So right now, the black man is binded. The black man is spiritually in a very intelligent way binded and tied up, chained up, so he doesn't move. So now, we will talk about later on how we can break free from these, right? So now we need to talk about why even women should support the Most High order. Get me 1 Corinthians 11:3. Let's see what the Most High order is. 1 Corinthians 11:3.
First Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is the Mashiach, and the head of every woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High.
Right, the head of the woman is the man. Get me Genesis 3 verse 16. So some people may say it's the New Testament.
Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrows and thy conceptions. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Right? Your desire shall be toward your husband, but he shall rule over you. So the husband's supposed to rule over the wife. That's how the Most High set it up. Now, why should even our women support the Most High order? Number one, men are the protectors of the society. If there's a war between white people and black people, who's gonna protect our black women? You think the black women gonna pick up a gun and go fight themselves and be there? We don't need no men. We strong, independent. How many of you brothers think the woman gonna pick up a gun and go fight white people and be like, we don't need no men?
None. Not at all.
So what happened to the strong, independent black woman? What happened with that in wars? So why can't they just go ahead and be like, I'm strong, independent. We're gonna fight ourselves. We don't need no men. We're gonna stand in front of these white people with those snipers and the drones and missiles. Let us go fight. We don't need no you men stay behind. We got this. Will our women do that?
No.
Okay. What happened in Ukraine? You see what happened in Ukraine even in modern time. The war's going on. All the women start fleeing the border.
I saw that.
I don't see no woman going there and fight. Some of them do, but like 1%, 0.1%, probably doing medical stuff, not actually going in front lines. Because even the army vets are saying one thing. They're saying when we fight alongside women, they're gonna get us killed because they're slow. They got cramps. They got all kind of problems. They're complaining. They're nagging. A lot of army vets are saying we don't need women in our team. We simply don't. They give problems. They nag. They complain. They got pain. They don't wanna run. They're gonna get us killed out here. So even as a man, fighting alongside a woman is a challenge. You understand? Not even saying that a woman gonna be a strong black woman and do none of that. It's not. It's only movies you see women are kicking men that are 7 feet tall. That man is so big, and that woman is doing karate, kicking him down. That's only movies, bro. In real life, she's dead.
There was if I can add something, there was something I was reading in the news. This police officer, young female, and she wanted to become a cop, and then she ended up getting into a fight with this gigantic guy. Man, she nearly died, bro. The guy beat him to a pulp. Like, there was not much left of her. You should see the pictures, man. Like, you know, like when you beat someone savagely, and then you really, really, really beat the person that you wanted to beat him. That's how the guy beat her, man. And she almost died. Had it not been for backup, she would have died. That's why in Israel, we didn't have a culture of sending those women to war, because they're going to get slaughtered.
Con. Give me 1 second. All right. So the men are the protector of the house, of the society. If there's a race war that rise up between white people and black people, guess what? I don't think our women gonna be the one defending. So why would a black woman want weak men? But a lot of things that black women do indicate that they want weak men, but it's not really what they want, but it's what the system implanted in them. Right? So again, that's why I say our women is not the enemy, but they don't know. Like Mashiach say, I pray for them because they know not what they're doing. They don't know what they do, because if they knew better, they should support the rise of strong black men. You had something up?
Right. What we see, and I think you say it very well. This is all by design. You've had first you have the gang culture. They started it with a gang culture. Can you mute that quickly? Right. So they started it with gang culture, making it seem like it's okay to be a gangster. It's okay to sell drugs. It's okay to do this. Get rich or die trying. Then they move to the next phase, which is the whole culture. Now, all the females, all they listen to is songs that's praising females being whore, songs that's praising females, not cleaning, not cooking, not doing none of that stuff. And then the last phase, which is what they're getting in, is making a man becoming weak and effeminate. Because right now, if you look at a lot of the rappers, you see they're wearing skirts. You see they're holding purse in their hands. You see they're doing all kind of stuff exactly like the system designed it. It's pretty much right now it's a 3-stage process. Because once they finish the last phase to get all the men weak and effeminate, it's over. Like, there's no more, black family. There's no more strong, black people anymore. It's all about a bunch of weak men, and they're pushing it. They're starting it through the music industry. I think Lil Nas X was one of the ones that started, with the song, and then he came out as homosexual. Then he just A bunch of them, even Puff Daddy. Who knew? Like back in the days, everybody was, man. You know, PDD, Nas, all those guys, man, the stars. Then you find out PDD's been on to some homosexual stuff. You know, it's all by design, man.
Khan. So the weakening of the black men is all by design, and we as men of the Most High, we need to step up. And those days, as I said, those days are over. We need to teach this truth. We need to reintegrate the Most High in their families, man, and we need to work fast, because as we say, the whole plan, who it benefits is the system. Like that, black men never shine. Let me tell you something. There was a time where, black men could exercise their talent without papers in the system, like without actually going to school and none of that. They'd be like, too many black men are rising, and especially with Harlem, with the Black Wall Street, where black men simply could invent stuff without paper. They're like, nah, let's put everything for you to do anything, you need to go to college. And for you to go to college, you need to take student loans. It's like they're like, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. So we're not going to allow them to rise to education through their own invention. Plus, for them to get educated, they need to pay us tons of money. After that, they got debts. Now Trump is trying to garnish everybody's check. So the weakening of the black men is a step-by-step process that, as we say, even our women need to support the strengthening of our men, because it's not going to be good for you in the end. Because once the black man is weakened, guess what? You know what's going to happen? It's straight slaughter. Even the Bible talk about that. Get me that brother in Isaiah 53 verse 6. I'm not sure what the Most High is saying that's going to happen to black people if we don't fix things right away. The Most High predicted what's going to happen if we don't get the black man in his rightful position. And our women need to stop being proud. Our women, because if we want to save this nation, we need to put black men in his authority. Because it's going to be you and your children in the end. Right? Isaiah 53 verse 6. We need the full support of our women. Go ahead.
I'm reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 6.
Go ahead.
All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Most High hath laid on him the iniquity of us all.
Right. So, read verse. Hold on. Read verse 7.
He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before the shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth.
So the people that was gonna be led to the slaughter. Hold on, let me get that. Right? So he said, we all are like sheep, have gone astray, and have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord had laid upon him the iniquity of us all. So meaning we were being led to the slaughter, but the Mashiach took the slaughter for us. Right? The only reason why we'll get out of this mess we in is through our Mashiach Yahushua, through the truth of knowing we the Israelites. Because right now we walking toward the slaughterhouse, and we don't even realize it. What do you think happened when we are weakened? Most of our men are effeminate, and they replace us with robots. What do you think happened? You think those people love black people? You remember what Leopold did to people in the Congo? He cut thousands of children's hands. You understand? These people don't care about our people. What do you think happens after they replace us with robots? What do you think happens after all these men are CC boys and don't have no spine? It's straight slaughter. You understand? So this is what we're saying. Even our women should support the movement to put the black men on top. Because the black man is the one that's going to protect you. I wouldn't want a bodyguard and he's sweet. How many people want to hire a sweet bodyguard from Wilton Manors?
No.
Your bodyguard is a guy that say, hey, like what? Listen.
You're gonna get shot.
You understand? Like we don't want that distraction. All this is distraction. And as men, we need to rise up again and put these days behind us, right? So the next thing why women should even support the rise of the black man is because black men are the guardian of principle. So how many women to want to continue raise children for the streets? Because without a father, we seen that. It's not we bashing our women. Without a father, the black community is in disarray. It's not good for one woman is to raise children. Like you gotta work and take care of these children. How you gonna have time to educate them? And on top of that, there's no father in the house that they fear. And we in a system where even when there's a father in the house, the children are still trying to be wild. I'm not even gonna talk when there's no father. Like you gonna know these children are rebellious. You understand? So are we gonna keep raising children for jail, for the streets, for drugs, for crack, for homosexuality? For them to be prey to the pastor, to the deacon? You understand? So is that what we're gonna do? So without education, there's no nation. Even if you go to war, war means nothing if there's no education. So our women should support the movement to put the father back in the house, right? Next, men are the financial might in mind. Now, even you see in the United States, a lot of women are making more money than men in the same field, and they tell you women are the brokest between the two gender. Even if women make more money than men, they're still broke. They got more loans. They got more debts on them. Not me bashing sisters, but it's facts, it's statistic that women have more debts than men. Why? Because, well, remember when I told you the plan was to put the weak over the strong? When women have money, what do you think they're gonna be doing? About building business and structure? Not most of them. That's like 1% or 2% that have a business mindset. But most of them out here, when they get money, who knows what they do with the money? Shopping. What else? What else are women do with the money when they get it? Nails. They get BBLs. You know who knows how much a BBL costs?
It's expensive.
10 to 30K.
10 to 30K. That could, man, if I have that, how much businesses, brother, would you make with 30K?
About 4.
Right. So we would make so many business. You see, men, when we have those kind of money, we're thinking business. Women, when they have those kind of money, they're thinking beauty. How do we make ourselves beautiful? That's why even if they're making money, they're always broke. They always got so much loan. Because women are not given the responsibility to lead. You know, men is the mind and the might of finance. And this is why they want to take finance away from the men. They want to take money from the men. Give it to the woman will be in debt, the whole nation is screwed. That's why I tell even brothers, before you marry a woman, do a background check, how much loan she got. Do you know a lot of time you marry a woman with a lot of loans, a lot of debts? If you don't opt out, you know you're going to be responsible for those loans, right? You know you're going to be responsible for a lot of these debts. So that means that also collapses you as a man. Even if you were doing great, you know, the minute she comes in your life, she got $200,000 school loans and this loan, and guess what? Now you're responsible to pay. Now your check is being garnished because she had so many credit cards. Like most women I know, like they have credit cards that burn them too, because they're buying hairs, they're buying. They have to look good, they have to look pretty. It's not investing, it's just buying. So women don't have the mind and the might for money. So that being said, it's a man's job to be the gatekeeper of finance in a house. But when we don't have a man there, that's what women do. They just spend money. And for the sake of family, for the sake of our society, women would want a man to check them and tell them, hey, listen, we cannot buy this now. We don't have the money now. Yeah, we have bills to pay. We cannot do no BBLs. You understand? We have bills to pay. We cannot do manicure now. We have to hold on. A man will check you. A real man will check you and tell you, hey, you can't do that. right? So a woman that want to prosper financially will always want a man that actually hold her accountable financially. But a lot of these women, although they, although you see they're making money, they got good job, but their loans is as high as their income, right? A lot of them too, they're still looking for a man that's richer. Why? Because they can't keep money in their hands, even though they're making money. It's impossible. So now, next, men create the infrastructure that protects women. So how can women find what they want if there are no men to build and think of structure? As we say, pretty much all inventions, most of inventions, is that women don't invent stuff, but without men, even what they invent wouldn't be possible. Like a lot of women say, oh, these women invent that. But without a man actually constructing it, making it happen, giving you the opportunity to make it happen, and not taking the credit for it, guess what? It wouldn't happen. So men actually create most of the structure, the road, the hospitals. When we have money, that's what we think about, structure. Right? So if a society needs to flourish, guess what? We need the men to create the structure that protect the people, that take care of their health, that feed them in every aspect of life. Right? So that being said, this is why women should support this lesson tonight. Right? Give the man back his power as the Most High intended it. Stop being, oh man, he has power. Stop being envious of the men. When the men have power, he protects you. Just like the Most High, when he has power, he protects us. So why would you be against your own interest? Giving them in power is not against you, it's for you. Because when men have power, we give it back. We don't keep it to ourselves. We don't be like, man, we independent, strong black men. How many times you hear men talking about we independent, strong black men? I don't hear that. It's only women when they got some money, they're talking about they're independent, meaning everything I have is mine. When men have stuff, we give it back to women. We give it back to the children. So we need the women to support, to push the black men up so the society can fix itself. So now, next, let's talk about how do we know a man lose power from his woman? How do we know? When do you know you already lost power? Let me give you a list of things that will indicate that you lost power in your own house. Number one, when the woman dictates what goes in the house, whether he agrees or not. When I was listening to that sister, she was saying, man, I'm going to be doing a BBL. Well, she's going to do the BBL again because she feel like it wasn't done right. The husband say no, she don't listen. Her mama say no, she don't listen. Her sister say no, she doesn't listen. So even the husband say no, she's like, I'm going to do my BBL. I don't care what he says. The minute you start seeing this in your house, you don't have no power, bro. You're the woman in the relationship. If you can't tell her, like, if she's taking all the decisions, she dictates what goes in the house, what happens? You lost power. You're a weakling. You're weak. You understand? If what she says go, you weak. You lost power. Number two, she does whatever she wants with herself and the children. If she say, I'm going to pierce their ears, you men can't say nothing. That's what's going to happen. If she say, I'm going to do a BBL, well, that's what's going to happen. If she say, I'm going to buy a $5,000 wig, that's what happens. You can't say anything. You weak. You lost power in the house. Number three, she forced or shamed the men to do her task in the home. Let me say that again. She forced or shamed the men to do her task in the home. Now, as we mentioned before, it's not that the woman have a specific task, like the kitchen is hers, but you decide what you want the woman to help you with. But if you decide, a good example, if you decide her job is to take care of the house, then next thing you'll find you don't want doing that. You working and taking care of the house. What is she doing exactly? Sitting there looking pretty as a princess. You lost power in the house. You're weak. Because in a house, for it to function, the woman needs to be a helpmate. She needs to be helping you. If she's not helping you, you'll find that, except for certain case of disease or problem, there's some problem. Let's say your wife got pregnant and she can't do things. Of course, you can always step in. But she's a healthy woman, looking fat like a heifer. you know, looking good in the house but not doing anything, listen, bro, you lost power. You find out she's sitting there as a princess, you cooking, you cleaning, then you have to bring money into the house. Yeah, you subservient. You lost power in the house. Because she need to do her part, you need to do your part. Not do her part for her because she's complaining. Because in the house, there's no job in the house that's not difficult. Cutting the grass is difficult. Fixing the roof is difficult. Having to call the AC guy is difficult. Doing the oil change for her, getting that done monthly. Working. We don't only do work, bring money in the house. A lot of other things we do on a basis to make sure the house function. None of it is easy. If she sit there and complaining, and because she complained, you end up taking her task and doing yours, yeah, you're done. You don't have no power in the house. She has to do her part. Number 4, she won't allow him to correct her or the children. If you have a wife that won't allow you to correct her, you lost power. You understand? You can't tell her nothing. You understand? You can't tell, even the Bible, she don't want to hear you. What kind of husband you are, but when you have a wife that don't even listen to you. This is why the Most High say, if you can't rule your own house, you can't rule the house of God. You know, how you gonna exert power on the people of God, but your own house is you know, your wife won't listen to you. You know, so as a man, you need to put that authority back in the house. Next, she cheats and expect the men to accept it. Now you might laugh at this, that a woman would cheat and expect a man to accept it. Well, today I was listening to a woman that asked a question. Well, I slept on my husband, you know, and I would like him to accept the other side dude as my boyfriend. You hear that nonsense? She's asking how can she convince her husband to accept the dude as her side dude. So my first question was, how does he even accept you in the house after you cheat? I'm not gonna even get that far accepting. How are you still married? How are you still in the house in the first place? So that means you just cheat and that means just looking at you in the house like you cheat and you like here in the house? How? You see how low men have become? These men are so seduced by what's between a woman's leg. They're so desperate for women. Even though women cheat, they would ask forgiveness for that woman. It's like, baby, I know you cheat, but I'm sorry that you cheat. You see how low men have fallen? They would know their wife cheat and they still make it look okay. And now she noticed that he's so okay with her cheating. Now she's asking him to accept the boyfriend as part of the family. Can you believe this nonsense? Next, the men forgive her cheating and disrespect. So if you forgive her cheating, bro, you lost all respect in that. Let me tell you, women are not like men. As we mentioned last Shabbat, that women have what we call oxytocin. Oxytocin is a chemical that is called the love chemical. Meaning this is what allows women to pair bond with people. Meaning you see if a woman sleep with a man, that means she loves that man most of the time. Especially if she's not a prostitute, right? So women have that oxytocin that's so high, she's only can pair bond with one person at a time. While men don't have that level of oxytocin. That's why men can love different women and they're fine. But women, when they sleep with a man, that means they love that man more than you. And it just means that they want this man. And this is a good example about that woman that asked her husband to accept the boyfriend. Because the truth is she's already in love with the boyfriend. You see? And how you as a man, you're gonna accept her. You know she cheats. You're gonna see her every day here. What is she doing in this house? Right? Next, she keep her money to herself and have you spend for everything while she saves. So if you notice that your woman is saving money, she don't contribute anything to the house, you don't want that slaving around to give her money, On top of that, you're giving her money, but her money is her money. She's not a helpmeet to you, brother. You're a slave. You're a subservient. You have no power over her. And soon, when she get that bread, guess what? You ain't going to be in the picture. Right? Next, she wants you to obey her instead of the Most High words. When a woman tell you, follow what I say instead of God's word, you know she becomes your God. I'm going to say that again. When the Bible says something and the woman say, nah, what I say matters more than what he say, what the Most High say, guess what? She become your God. Because she's the one you listen to. And that's what happened in the Garden of Eden. The Most High didn't punish Adam because he eat the fruits. You guys don't pay attention. The Most High punished Adam because he listens to his wife. Right? He says, because you listen to thy wife, that's why I'm going to punish you. Because the only person you listen to when it comes to morality is the Most High. I'm not saying don't listen to your wife for advice and things like that, but when it comes to evil and right, wrong and right, it's the Most High you listen to. You don't listen to your wife. And Adam got punished because he listened to his wife. So whenever your wife is telling you, hey, break the Shabbat for me, I don't care if you don't break, and you listen to her, you lost the power. Next. She disrespect him, meaning curse or hit him, in the house or in public. If your wife is hitting you, you already know, she has the power of you. And in fact, in the United States, 1 in 3 men report physical abuse, meaning women are literally slapping them, beating them. And they're saying those things are underreported because most men will not want to look weak, or my wife slapped me, or my wife beat me down. They don't even report it. But 1 in 3 men in the United States is experiencing physical abuse from a woman. Meaning a woman is slapping them, punching them, then probably calling the police and say, he beat me. So if you see your woman is beating you, you have no power in this house. She has the power, of course. Right? And the last one, she used sex as a bargaining chips. If she's using sex as a bargaining chips, you lost power. Because the Bible says the body of the woman belongs to you. She don't have to use sex as a blackmail tool to actually make you do stuff. If she's doing that, she's manipulating you, and she knows you so desperate for sex, and she'll get you to do anything. Don't let sex manipulate you. Right? So how do we fix this? How do we fix this? Get me Proverbs, Zach. The book of Proverbs, 24 and 5.
Proverbs 24, 5. Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, Salah. Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 5. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increases strength.
Right. So a man of knowledge increase in strength. A wise man is strong. So what do we need to do is learn wisdom. Have understanding. You understand? We need to get back to the level of our ancestors on how they deal with our women and how they deal with the Edomites and how to rebuild our nation. Right? So, get me Isaiah 24 and 5.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 5.
Go ahead.
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
That's right. So the reason why all these are happening to our people is because we transgress the law, right? We change the ordinance of God. We broken the everlasting covenant. This is why it's simple. How do we fix that? We have to return to the principle of the Most High. What did God order? We need to put God back in the house. That's the only thing we need to do. Bring the Most High back in the house. Anyone that don't want to go with the Most High program, she's out of there, man. Don't marry any woman that don't want to follow God's laws. It's simple. And let me tell you something. A lot of you brothers underestimate the power you have when it comes to relationship. We are the gatekeepers of relationship. We don't want that hunt for the women. We have the power. The minute a lot of brothers start draining the truth, a lot of these women will have no choice but to drain the truth. They'll have no choice. I don't care. If you need a man, you're going to have to change your ways. Because no man going to walk up to and be like, or you're not going to walk to a man and be, can you marry me? Because women propose. Women hunt for the woman. You see, if we want to change the nation, we need to hunt the brothers. Right? If we need to change the nation, we need to hunt for the brothers, not the sisters. Because if we hunt for the brothers, and the brothers going to have requirements. You want to be my wife? Well, this is how it is. You need to keep the law. You need to change yourself. You need to change that loud mouth of yours. You need to stop listening to Esau and his feminist movement and all these labeling and all these things they're trying on us. Because the Most High have a way is like... the Most High have a way. Get me Ephesians 5 right quick. You can put yourself on mute because I put you on mute, brother. Get me the book of Ephesians 5. Hold on. What did the Most High system set up for us, right? Get me Ephesians 5:20 hold on. Ephesians 5:22.
Read it from the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Most High.
As unto who?
The Most High.
You see, your wife need to submit to as unto God. Not as unto you just a nigga, you just a brother in the truth. She need to submit to you as unto the Most High God. See the way they respect white Jesus? The way they say JJ is their husband? You see how they feed JJ and give him praise, and if the pastor say, come cook me food, and they just go and cook the pastor food? If the pastor say, man, I'm going to send you in a mission in Jamaica, they're going to the mission in Jamaica. But if you say, go get me a plate in the kitchen, it's like, nigga, get it yourself. Right? So the level that we need to return to is that our women submit themselves to us as unto the Most High. I didn't say it. That's how the Most High set up. If we want to save our nation, this is how we save the nation. The woman let me tell you, do any women can any woman speak back to the Most High? Give him talk back? Any brother? Can any woman give the Most High talk backs? No. You understand? Yes, we do know our brothers need to work on themselves. Yeah, we need to get righteous so we don't use that power to mistreat. Because let me tell you, when a woman submits to you as unto the Most High, and you have that power, a lot of brothers will destroy their wives. This is not I'm talking. We need to get righteous, yes, but today we're talking about when a woman make you God. When you make a woman your God. So the level that our women need to get back to, as the Most High say, is that they need to submit to their men as unto the Most High. And we men, we need to deal with them according to what, brothers?
Knowledge.
According to knowledge. What knowledge? That we need to be gentle. We need to be kind. We don't use that power that they accept to submit as a tool to beat them up, to mistreat them, but of course for the greater good, for the advancement of our nation. So that being said, brothers, how do we get back to that state where our women fall in line within the Most High program and plan? and leave the Edomite programming plan behind. It's for us to focus on us, fix ourselves, and bring those brothers in that truth. This is simple. If we bring our brothers in the truth, they know what the truth. Guess what? If you want to be my wife, you follow the commandment. You don't want to follow the commandment, go ahead. Go with Tyrone from the block, weak Tyrone. And go with that all these weak brothers in the world, unfortunately. But as for us, we're going to serve the Most High. And we want women that serve the Most High. That's the only way we change it. We don't have to focus on the women. We need to focus on the men. Once we change the men, you are the powerhouse. You control everything. Once the way the men goes is the way the women go. And that's why right now you see a lot of women are coming to the truth. You know why? Because they see brothers in the truth. Trust me, a lot of women are in the truth just because they're looking for a man. When they see all these IUIC guys, all these brothers together teaching, they're like, that's a lot of men. I need me a man. Then what you need to do, you need to come around those men. And what do you need to do? You need to keep the commandments. And as I say, brothers, do not accept no woman that's not willing to follow the commandments. You know, if you have to give her time to heal, give her time to heal. You understand? I'm not saying to be perfect, but there's certain things as submission. She need to be able to submit to you. You understand? She need to be able to submit to the word of the Most High before I go to marriage and deal with intercourse with you and everything. If she's not willing to do that, no. As we say, don't put your private your seed thrower in every ground. Don't do it. And this is the problem. A lot of our men are controlled by sex. You understand? And the women, a lot of women know that we are controlled by sex. That's why they manipulate you like that. Don't let your erection give you direction. Right? Don't let your erection give you direction. You know, follow the commandments. Any questions? Any suggestions? Any comments? Or what you think of the lesson and what's the message for the youth? We always take that. Let's go, brothers. Let's make it quick.
Good class.
All praises. Come on. Who else next? What was questions, suggestions, what you think? What's the message for the youth?
Also, what you were saying about the pastor and how a man's wife will go and give the pastor a plate, but her husband, a lot of the times in a Christian church or with Christianity, 9 times out of 10, the pastor is sleeping with the and stuff like that. That's why when he comes to the house, he don't ask for the husband; he asks for the wife.
God, that's for a fact. I saw that in court the other day. The pastor actually, they went to the pastor for counsel, and he ended up giving nightly counsels, where he sleep with the wife and end up, booking hotel with the woman, everything. So, anyone else? How men have lost power over here and how we can rise up? Any brother? I mean, we had a very good lesson. Y'all can stay silent unless you're sleeping.
Yeah, right on the money. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Minister O'Connor. He said right on the money.
Oh, yeah, because I always tell women that, a lot of women be using what they men not doing to say, okay, I'm white because I'm doing that. Because I always tell women, yeah, you're not submitting to your husband. I say, that's what the scripture says, submit to your husband like unto, I say, a Mashiach is the Most High is the head, and a Mashiach is the head of the men, and the man is the head of the woman. I say, can we go to when I see a woman say certain thing to a man, and I see, can you say the same thing to a Mashiach? He say, hell no. I say, exactly. So if you can say that to a Mashiach, she shouldn't say that to you either.
God.
And some women make excuse or because you don't do that or Mashiach won't. I say, all right, Mashiach won't. They say Mashiach won't agree with men. I say, okay, a woman shouldn't agree with a man either. I said, this is how the system works. The system work, okay. We talk to the Mashiach talk to the Most High for us. We talk to Mashiach to talk to the Most High. We don't agree with Mashiach. I say the same thing. If the woman needs something, he should talk to us, not argue, not disrespect. And there's a lot of women, there's a lot of men. Obviously, when I'm saying those things, they say, I'm top off. I'm not for women. I'm kind of some. They actually try to put word bashing me out. And also, the last thing, also, I say I don't trust a men that are gay in the army and the police officer that are gay, and they say, all right, there's a bunch of straight men that can't get to the army. They get to the army, they protect you, and they say a bunch of things. I say, all right, I don't think you guys are the men I should talk to because you got to suffer me.
Yeah, they're weak. Those men are weak. You know, this is the problem with the society. A lot of them have turned into zombies. And when you try to fix them and in their own advantage, they're going against their own selves. They're going against their own destruction. As I said, you know, we're working toward the slaughterhouse as men. If we don't take responsibility to fix this now, you know, we don't know in 10 years where this thing going to be. And we see Esau's really working rapidly in his plan as the movement is widening and as we're being awakened. He's working fast on his technology trying to replace you because as one of them said, he says, how can you kill the donkey unless you replace the donkey first? That's one of the idioms that say that. Before they slaughter you, they need to replace you first. And they're thinking robots can do a better job than you. So we need to work fast. We need to teach our brothers. We need to wake up our sisters. We need to put the house in order, man. Anyone else? Okay, so apparently no one else have emotion. So all praises to the Most High by Hashem Yahushai. You know, I hope that that lesson give us a wake-up call as men to not only understand where that whole dynamic come from, you know, where also we short in the household, where we can take advantage, where we can empower ourselves as men in the house, take control back. And not only that, we hope our women also fully support the movement pushing for their own salvation, because this is the woman's salvation and this is the children's salvation. Because when time comes, it's not the white men will not protect black women, the Chinese men will not protect black women, the Indian will not protect black women. Nobody will protect black women if we don't set black men up. If black women don't push black men to rise up, nobody will protect black women. You understand? They'll be on their own, and then they'll be crying, where's the black men? Well, you weaken them. You work with the system to weaken black men. And that's what happened when you weaken black men. All of them are scared. You know? So, thus, we hope everybody's on board with this message and that we push together to establish order of the Most High in the house. All praise to the Most High. Shalom to everyone. May the Most High bless. Have a good night until next Thursday.